I pitched my services to a business for the first time, and here's what I learned. I learned you gotta believe in yourself, because if you believe in yourself, you're really gonna talk your ass off. When I was approaching these businesses, when I was talking to the first business, I was a little nervous within my voice. I can hear it. My voice is a little bit shaky, but I still believed in myself. There's a car coming. But I still believed in myself, and I decided to just keep talking and talk through it. I didn't necessarily get the sale on that one just because the owner wasn't in the building, but they're gonna leave it with the owner when they have the chance for that. So like, definitely believe in yourself. And like, after that was done, I didn't have like a clear answer. I didn't have a clear yes. And so I still believed in myself. When I was walking back to the car, I saw that there was a food truck there, and I was like, why not just try this food truck as well? So I went back to the car, I got another brochure, and I approached the food truck, and I decided to give my services out to them as well. Even though I got kind of rejected from the first one, I still went and tried on the second one because I believed in my services that much. And at first, the guy was a little not like, he wasn't receptive to what I was trying to say, because it seems like he's been sold to a lot in the past for like just like social media services. But my service is a little bit different. I put the power into your hands. I empower the business owner and give them the materials and the tools and the knowledge that they need so they can do it for themselves. I teach them how to fish. And so that business owner, he was a little like hesitant at first, but he started to be more receptive when I started to give him my selling point, my offer. And it was really cool to see his body language change within that moment. When I was done with that, he got my information, and he said he wanted to set up a little call so we can like talk a little bit more and see if my services can really fit him, and like we can like tailor my services to really fit his needs, which is gonna be really cool. Can't wait for that. But when I was done, I was leaving, and I was gonna go back to the car, and then he had his friend sitting out there, which is also a business owner, and he owns a towing company. He's like, hey, my friend wants to hear you out too. And so I went and I walked over, I talked to his friend, and he's like, can you help me out? I have a towing service. I was like, absolutely. And so I just started to think on the spot, what could I do for a towing service? And I finally came up with an idea, and I just started talking my butt off, being so passionate. And it was really cool to see like my body language change from when I first started talking to everybody. I was really like a little nervous to like the very end of this whole like journey that I had within that like hour time frame. Not even hours, like 30 minutes of time frame. And it was just cool to see myself go from like not so confident to like super confident. And what I learned is you just gotta really believe in yourself in that moment, like believe in what you're selling, be very knowledgeable definitely of what you're doing, and like just be passionate when you're talking, because like I've noticed that when you're like really passionate, like it just flows. You just start talking, you're not up in your head, you have like everything, you're just present in the moment. It's beautiful. The second point I have is, if you get rejected, move on. And that kind of just like ties into the story I was just talking about. I kind of got rejected from that first one because I didn't get a clear answer. There was no owner, there was no manager, there was just the employees over there, and they're just like, we're gonna pass it on. So like, I could have taken that as rejection, I could have taken that as a win. It's just the way I perceive it. We got another car coming, but yeah, it's the way I perceive it. And like, I'm just so pumped. Like, even if I get rejected, I don't care. That person, that service, they weren't for me. They didn't see the vision that I'm holding. They don't see what I have to offer. They don't see that value. And that doesn't mean if they can't see my value, that lowers my value, that lowers my worth. That does not lower my worth at all. It's just they failed to see what I had to offer, and that's okay. I can just move on to another person. It's okay to get rejected, yes. For the third one, I have refine your pitch, because when I was when I was going up there and talking the first one, I did not have my pitch like refined at all. Okay, rewind up a little bit. Before I went out there, I decided to get a pitch going on today. So there was an airplane going on. Wait a second. I lied, it's a helicopter. I didn't lie, I was mistaken, it was a helicopter. Okay. Now the helicopter's there. So refine your pitch. Hello, cars. Okay, so refine your pitch. Right before I was going to pitch myself, I was actually packaging my pitch together. And so I was actually using ChatGPT to help me out to like structure out my pitch and how I was gonna actually pitch myself out to brands, and that really helped me out. But when I first imported the structure for the pitch on ChatGPT, it gave me like this like long structure of like everything that I needed to do and have done. And like once I was presented with that information, it really got me like in my head, because like there was just so much stuff within the bounds of that information that I was just like, oh man, like I didn't think about doing that, or like I didn't think about having this information ready. And so it did get me prepared. But if I were to stick to the structure that pitch that I had, I wouldn't have pitched yesterday. I probably would have pitched today, because like I was just getting in my head, and like I was just getting in the way of myself, thinking I needed to have all this information when all the information's already within me. I just need to speak and get it out of my own head, if that makes sense. And so like I think I'm gonna refine your speech. Yeah. And so with refine your speech, like I had an idea of how I wanted my pitch to be. Like I had like basic kind of like bullet points. What I'm doing here, I had like bullet points of what I wanted to touch over. But like you can't really like plan how you want your speeches to go. Things happen. Things change. Like, and so what I noticed is when I was talking to the first set of people, that I was feeling like kind of robotic. I was trying to like lean on that script that I was trying to write, and then as I was going through the other different like business owners, when I was talking, I started to notice that like it just came out. Like I didn't stick to the structure. I just listened to what the guy was saying, and I tuned everything that I had. I adapted everything I had to fit his needs. And it's just like, I think that's the thing. You just gotta be able to listen, and that's another point. We'll talk about that later. But you gotta be able to just be present, be there, and listen. Refine what you're saying, but be like on point with what you're saying, because you're trying to sell your service. And the next point I have is don't speak from notes, speak from the heart. And I'm literally like kind of speaking from notes here, but it's not like I'm not trying to say like have like everything written down and have a script. We kind of touched upon this a little bit. I'm just saying like this for me right now in this video, bullet points help. When I went over and pitched myself, I didn't have bullet points, I didn't have notes. I just had me, my person. I was there. I had a little brochure, but I didn't look at it. It was just me and the guy. I was just focusing on that. And so like when you speak from the heart, it's just easier to talk, because like, and for my experience in general, like this is a new YouTube channel that we're talking on, Simply Create. Hello, thank you for coming here, guys. In the prior, I had other YouTube channels that I was trying to build up, and one that I stuck with for a really long time. I never got to this level of talking on camera where it just flows like this. Like I'm authentically talking, and this fucking feels great. Back in the past, like I would try to get to this level of talking, but I couldn't do it. I would have to cut my videos so much. So like I'm so happy that I'm at this level to where I don't have to cut my videos down so much. I actually believe in myself. Like I know who I am, and I can speak like this. I feel confident within myself, and this is great. Like I really hope everybody that is striving to like be able to talk to the camera and just straight flow like this, like I really wish you the best on your journey. It's a journey, and it's freaking awesome. It's worth it. But learn to speak from the heart, because that's how you're going to do it. You got to be present in the moment. Another one, identify pain points. So when you're talking to these business owners, you got to identify the pain points. You got to see what they need so you can help them out. This is how you're going to succeed during your approach on the pitch. So when I was going and talking to the first brand, I was also telling them that I noticed that their social media is lacking, and like this is like they're missing so much money out there just not being on TikTok. And so I was like kind of pointing them that way, and like I guess I got to be okay with what I say, because I also noticed that like one of the ladies that was working over at the first place, when I said that information, I saw like her body language just drop. And so like I definitely like what I said there cut, it like really made her feel some type of way, and I didn't necessarily want that to happen. Like I didn't want to like attack her. So like I guess I got to be okay with like being like with my words, or I also have to be okay just like possibly hurting people's feelings, if that makes sense. But I'm not like coming at it from like a bad place. I'm coming at it from a loving place. So like there's either, if they're feeling some type of way, there's either like a miscommunication going on. What are you doing, bro? There's like a miscommunication going on, or like she needs to look into something, because I'm coming from a loving place. I'm not coming from hate. So yeah, identify pain points, and like also when I was talking to the other business owners, like it's just interesting when you start talking and you start to see like people's body language start to shift. You start to understand like, okay, like maybe what you said did help or didn't help, or like they need help in this department or they don't need help in this department. So like if you like start to understand and notice like a little bit of the shifts that they have in their body language and just their tone when they're speaking, you're able to identify and see where you can really help the person out. um, so yeah, like identify the pain points, because if you can identify the pain points, you can see where you can help your customer out or your client out. And if you can help your client out, it's a way to get that sale, get that pitch, win that pitch. Hey, okay. So now we are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th point, which is actively listen. We talked about it a little bit. Just actively listen. Like, that's how you're gonna get the sell. That's how you're gonna get the solutions. And when you're actively listening, you're like connecting with the small business owner or whoever you're talking to when you're actively listening. Because like that's how you build connections. Like that's, if someone's not actively listening to me when I'm talking, like do I really want to be friends with that person? They're not showing me respect. And like, why would you do business with somebody if you're not showing them respect? You know what I mean? Like, you want to be respectful of each other's space and treat each other nicely. And so if you're actively listening to the person when you're speaking, you're showing them respect, and like you're showing them that what they have to say matters. And like you don't want to be disrespectful to the other people, because like why would you work with somebody that disrespects you? You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. You want to be respectful all around. And for the last tip I had is going as a friend, you're there to help. Yeah, that's something that I realized is like I was so intimidated at first. Like it's different to see that you're like a person against a business, between you're just a person with another person, because it's easier when I'm able to just like talk to another person and think of them as a person or a friend. Like everything just flows. But the second that I think of them as like a corporation or a business, like it seems like to have a little bit more weight to it, if that makes sense. Like they have like, I don't know, like it's just a different barrier for me. It just doesn't seem so like authentic, I guess, because there's like a disconnect between brands and people. It just, and like we gotta bridge that gap. That's like a whole big thing. Like brands can be people, and that's okay, and that's how you connect. But yeah, going as a friend, it makes it easier. And like when you have like those friendly connections and you don't make it so businessy, you negate that tension. And like, why would you want to have tension when you're doing business deals? You know what I mean? You want everything to flow easily. You just want everything to flow. You want everything to be well. So there's no need to be tension. You want to be supporting each other. You want to collaborate with each other. You guys just want to be friends. Why do business with your enemy? I mean, you can't do business with your enemy. That can have some benefits there, but like, just be friends. You know, like y'all are trying to grow together. We get together to grow. We don't divide and fight each other. So that's all the points I had, because from pitching myself to businesses, pitching my services to businesses, this is my first time doing it with this business. I pitched myself before, like we're always pitching ourselves. I pitched myself for like weddings and stuff in the past, but like this is different because it's my own venture, like me by myself on something that I've never really done before, something like a concept that's kind of new. And it's just like, it was just really cool. And everything that I learned from that journey, I want to spread it upon you. Hopefully it helps you out in some way if you're trying to like pitch to other business owners or pitch to other people. Pitch yourself, because we gotta sell ourselves in this world in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, my name is Tristan. I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but my name is Tristan. I empower small business owners to unleash their potential and achieve digital success through the power of content creation. So if you guys need help, follow me, leave a message in the comment section. I'll be here. I'll be happy to help you guys out. You can book a coaching session on my website, simplytristan.com. But if you guys have any other questions, leave in the comment section below. Take care.